Welcome everyone, this is sportsbookreview.com and we're going through the college bowls, and there's a massive game in Orlando between Michigan at 14 and number 13 Alabama. Surely Alabama have got something to prove, everyone's favourites this year after getting beat in the final last year against the Tigers of Clemson. I've got Big Ragoo and the Big Boss in the house. Ragoo, as we're in Orlando, I'll come to you first. Alabama giving up 7. I've got no problems with giving up that 7. I think that they've got to get this train back on the right track.
Yeah, Alabama's usually in some way, form, or fashion involved in determining who the national championship team is, whether it's themselves or somebody that kind of gets along them sides and beats them to kind of get in that spot. But this year here, a little bit of a disappointment for Bama. Had 2 tough losses. They lost to LSU and they lost to Auburn. And in both of those games, the key factor, believe it or not, was third downs. When Alabama doesn't get more than 50% of conversion rate on third downs, they lose. And those were the 2 games that they were kind of sub 50%. As far as what they have talent-wise, they have probably the deepest and probably one of the best all-time receiving corps in college football. And the only thing is that Tua is not going to be there to push the ball downfield. The backup quarterback, Jones, maybe with a little extra time to prepare here and to kind of, push this game going forward in the spring. This is going to be a stepping stone game, not for the program itself, but to kind of measure up their quarterback scenario. So I think if Jones can take care of the football, and he's, like I say, he's got the top receiving corps in college, I think Bama might come out on the plus side here. Now, Shea Patterson's done some nice things towards the end of the season for Michigan. He's had like three 300-yard games. And the weakness in the Alabama defense is the secondary. So they've been touched up quite a few times for over 300 yards. I think South Carolina got them. A&M got them. LSU definitely got them. So they're suspect for the deep pass. So if Michigan's going to have any kind of prayer in the world, they're going to have to push the ball down the field. So right now I'm on the side of Bama, though. I think this is a game that they bounce back and move forward into next season. Yeah, and I was going to say to look forward to next season because they've got juniors all over the say, Devontae Smith, the wide receiver, Najee Smith, the rushing. I look at them and think to myself, how do they not cover the 7, Big Boss? And the total's 58.5. Where do you lean?
Hey, you know how it goes in these bowl games. It's all about preparation. Saban's one of the best coaches in preparation. He's on a down year. What a way to bring his troops together by winning in this Michigan game. But let's try to make a case for Michigan. Harbaugh 0-2 in bowl games, and his team had a sudden turnaround after they beat Notre Dame this year. But who knows? They've been kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as far as showing up for the game. They're supposed to have a great defense. They're supposed to have an offense that can move the ball. And they're going to be playing. They're going to be outclassed a little bit. It would take a lot from Harbaugh to beat Saban in this spot right here. I couldn't see any other way betting it but to take Alabama minus the 7 points. And I'm surprised the 7 points is set right there all this time. I mean, this thing really should probably jump up to 10 by the end of the game. But, Michigan has a great fan base, and I'm sure, I'm going to be rooting for Michigan to beat Bama. But, if I had to put money on it, I'm definitely going to take Alabama minus a 7. It's a small line with a team like Alabama who is going to be putting their foot forward. Saban has no problem, smashing right through teams. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with Bama minus 7 in this one. I have no clue on the total because this game could go either way. If Michigan actually is able to play some defense against Alabama, then they may keep it under the total. But Alabama could just roll them if they wanted to, though. But I would also lean under in this game.
Yeah, I mean, 58.5 sitting there, minus 7 with Bookmaker. Go to sportsreview.com/bookmaker. Press that button. Have a little look around the site. There's a lot more than just facts and figures. Also, I look at it, Big Boss, and 58.5. I'm thinking this could be an unders game. And what we've seen in so many of the earlier bowl games, the dogs are having the better of it.
Absolutely.
What, one-word answer? You've got no fault on the dogs?
Case, right here, Alabama, they don't, like I said, they don't mind putting their foot all the way up Michigan. So Michigan's going to have to fight to survive in this one.
Ragoo, can you put your finger on the reason why the Dogs have had so much joy in the early games?
It's no easy answer, but usually, even if you go back last year, the Dogs ate the whole bowl season. It's just one of those things like it's a matchup contingency where you're not knowing what to really expect with these teams when they hit the field as far as motivationally, sound of mind, and, being able to put their will on the other team. So, and the odds makers have a hard time adjusting too. So you can't blame the teams. You're betting against the numbers here. And a lot of times with these underdogs, they're outright winners too. So it's all about motivation and like DJ says, preparation.
Okay, well, we're going to leave Orlando. That's Michigan versus Alabama. But we're going with Alabama minus the 7, the total. Toss a coin if you fancy Alabama to squeeze the life out of Michigan, then you go under. If you fancy Michigan to go for the 300 yards like other teams have done against the Bama D, then you go over 58.5. But be sure to join us when we go to the other side of the nation. We're going to go to California for the Rose Bowl between the Oregon Ducks and the Wisconsin Badgers. See you soon.